right. Welcome, everybody. I am happy to see all of you here today, and I want to invite you to this essence of being power hour. All right. So, welcome to this science of being great. My name is Sue Tabaka Kritzik, otherwise known as Sue TK, and I am super excited to be presenting tonight because up until about 14 years ago, I had confidence, but I really didn't think I had confidence. And the other thing is that I really didn't feel that I was good enough. I didn't feel that I was worthy. I didn't feel as if I owned who I was. And as I started working with Essence of Being, with Bird Smith Lyons and her program, things began to change. And I also work with another group of phenomenal women. And I learned about this guy who wrote in the early 1900s, and his name is Wallace Wattles. And in this other group, we started reading the book, The Science of Getting Rich. And at the time, I thought, well, I would like some extra money. I found out that he not only wrote The Science of Getting Rich, he had a trilogy that he wrote, and it's called The Science of Success. The Science of Getting Rich is the first book in the series. The Science of Being Well is the second book in the series. And The Science of Being Great is the third book. And when I discovered this and started reading it, it really made an impact on me. So I'm going to ask you a question. I don't need you to answer out loud. It's a thought question. When someone asks you what being great means, what comes to mind? Do you think about people with money? Do you think about people in power or leaders? Just let that thought sit with you for a few minutes. What does being great really mean? I'd like to give you this concept. Being great is all about how you think it is. Now, I'm going to say something, and those of you who don't know me might think it sounds very egotistical. I consider myself to be a great person. Those of you who know me know that I'm not egotistical. I am kind. I care about people. I am willing to step up and help people. And guess what? Those skills, those soft skills, those things that equal my emotional intelligence are actually the things that I believe makes me great. And another thing about being great is, am I living up to my potential? I believe I am. I believe that I have discovered the purpose behind why I'm here. And it feels good. I don't walk around bragging that I'm great. However, I feel it. Just as I feel that I'm worthy, I don't have to prove my worth to other people. I matter. I make a difference in the lives of other people, and I don't have to prove that to anybody. Because at the end of the day, the only person that I can change and hold accountable is myself. So if you've done any reading of Wallace Wattles, you know that what he talks about is mindset. And so today, this is what you can expect. I want you to walk away from today's Power Hour feeling that you know anybody has the capacity to be great. It's not based on one particular thing that people can possess. It's not based on one particular skill anybody can have. Instead, it's a feeling. It's a feeling that you are where you're supposed to be, doing what you've been guided to do. And all of that leads to feeling better about yourself, about your integrity, about your character, and about your legacy. So we are going to discuss 3 different principles that go into the science of being great. First one is the power of thought. The second one is the principle of idealization. And the third is the importance of action. And I'll be repeating those as I get to that point. All right. So what I would like for you to do right now is grab paper and pen, because I am going to give you a few writing prompts that I would like you to finish certain sentences. So, ready? All right. The first writing prompt is this. I consider being great in life to be I consider being great in life to be finish up that idea. And as with any of these writing prompts, you want to write what immediately comes to mind. Don't overthink it. And the second one is the person I most admire for displaying greatness is the person I most admire for displaying greatness. Finish that one up. The third one, the qualities I consider that demonstrate greatness are, come up with 2 or 3 or more. The qualities I consider that demonstrate greatness are, this next one holds a special place in my heart, and I'll explain why a little bit later. The legacy I want to leave is. The legacy I want to leave. And now I'd like to open up the room and see if any of those are things that you might want to share. Raise your hand and call on you to jump on. I'm curious as to which of those really makes an impact on you. Really?
Good evening.
Hello.
Well, all three of them, I guess. The person I most admire for displaying greatness is Maya Angelou and Michelle Obama. And they all kind of coincide with each other. And the qualities I consider that demonstrate greatness are the ability to forgive and the ability to console.
Wow.
And the legacy I want to leave is kindness.
Awesome. That feels really good. Thank you. Carrie.
Okay, I had the same thing as Peggy Lee as far as the legacy kindness, because it matters and it makes a big difference in people's lives. I consider being great in life to be being, thinking, and acting like my best self. The person I most admire for displaying greatness is Oprah Winfrey. And the qualities I consider that demonstrate greatness are integrity and authenticity.
Awesome. And you know, the words that both you, Carrie, and Peggy Lee shared are things that come up in Wallace Wattles' work, things that come up about the idea of being great. And you find that there is a lot that goes into your thought process if you are wanting to be kind, be authentic, show up in the world and leave that legacy. So let's dig in to what these principles are all about. So as I said, the first principle is the power of thought. And anybody on here who knows Bird Smith Lyons, the founder of Essence of Being, knows that Bird has a few favorite sayings that we all begin to repeat. And one is, what you focus on expands. What you focus on expands. And in Wattles' work, he says, if you focus on what you don't have, that's what comes to you. And if you focus on gratitude and what you do have in life, more comes. And I know that my mentor, Virg, has often said that giving and receiving are the same energy. And so I know that when I think in terms of gratitude, it makes a big difference. And I am a person who, before I jump out of bed in the morning, I take a minute or two to just think about what my day is going to bring. And even if I know it's going to be a super busy day, I always end my thought process with saying it's going to be a great day. Whether it's raining out or whether the sun is shining. When it's raining, I look outside and say, I'm grateful for the rain because I know that the lawn needs watering, my plants, my trees need water. And it's that whole cycle of nature. So I'm grateful. It makes me appreciate sunny days a little more when it rains 7 days in a row, but that's the reality of it. So the influence of our own internal thoughts can control our actions if we take the time to make sure that our words are what we really want. And I was listening to a program by Joe Dispenza that said, eliminate these 3 words from your daily vocabulary. And I found this to be very, very interesting. The first word he said to eliminate is the word hope. I hope I get that money today. I hope this person calls me. I hope I get the job. He said, when you put the word hope out to God or the universe or source, whichever one you prefer, you are putting out the wrong message. You want to replace hope with the word no. I know I'm getting that money today. I know I'm getting that call. I know I'm getting that job. When you send that out, it feels different. And if you don't believe me, after this call, I want you to try that. The second word he said to get rid of is can't. You know, the minute you say, I can't do this, you shut down. So, of course, you want to change the word can't to can. And now you're going to have to forgive me for 1 second as I call upon Michael Sue to remind me of the 3rd word, because I shared this with her last week. Michael Sue.
Damn it. I knew you were going to do that. Knew it. The 3rd word is hope. And it changes.
No, I did hope.
You did hope.
I did hope and can't.
Did you do need to have?
No, that's what it is. Thank you.
Oh, well, you said them in order the first time. I had them in my head as need to
Forgive
have.
me. Forgive me. Forgive me.
Hope to know was the last one. Carrie and I
All
just
right.
talked about it.
So the one that I forgot, because I've eliminated it from my vocabulary, of course, is the word need. As in, I need money. I need this job. I need this work. And instead, change it to the word have. I have the money. I have the job. And so that power of thought is very, very important. And so I'm going to give you just 2 small suggestions. How about writing something on a sticky note? I don't know about you, but writing something on a sticky note and posting it on my computer or on my mirror really does help me remember what I need to put in my head every day. So the old sticky note, you know, I mean, it's nothing brand new, but it's something that really does help. And the other thing is, listen for or sign up on Facebook for something that gives you daily quotes or messages that are inspirational. And when you see them on your phone, take the time to really think about what they mean. I have a stack of 3x5 cards, and when things come to me I write them down so that I've always got them. And every once in a while, when I'm feeling a little deflated, I sit down and I scroll through those quotes and I'm uplifted. So, power of thought. All right. The next is the principle of idealization. The principle of idealization. And basically, it goes right along with the power of thought. Only this time, it's specific. What are you picturing? What is the vision in your head? How many times have we said things like, oh, I really need a vacation. And you've not qualified what that vacation is really all about. What if you were able to say, I picture myself sitting on the beach chair under an umbrella, reading one of the many books I have on my to-be read list. And I can hear the water, I can hear the waves crashing in, and I can see the birds flying overhead, and I can feel the breeze. When you put those specifics to it, and you really think those things, they will come to you much faster than saying, I need a vacation. Sometimes a vacation for some people is simply sitting in their easy chair watching Netflix. And if that's what you really want for your vacation, then be specific and say that. So in this case, the science of being great, what you really want to do is visualize you being great, you being at your best. I can tell you, for me, it's speaking on stages. And I see myself standing in a suit on a stage with either a microphone that comes around or one in my hand. And I am making eye contact with the people who are sitting in front. And I'm asking the questions and watching for the nods of affirmation. And I'm smiling. And I am delivering a message that I know that audience is here to hear. And it feels good. And so when that opportunity comes, I grab it and I savor it. I can picture it. I can even picture what earrings I'm wearing and what shoes I'm wearing. So I get really detailed. And a dear friend of ours, Tasha Chen, who has the Academy, The Science of Getting Rich, always shares with us, write that down. And I'm going to tell you, if I may, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I never really knew what power I had. Back when I was a young girl, one of my favorite movies was The Wizard of Oz, and it still is one of my two favorite movies. The other one is It's a Wonderful Life. But back to The Wizard of Oz. I think I was about 6 or 7 when I saw it the first time on a black and white TV. And I think I was about 9 when I saw it in color. And I fell in love with the Emerald City. Now, I'm one of 8 kids. I'm right in the middle. I've got 3 older siblings and 4 younger ones. And I remember saying, oh, I want emeralds. And as I got a little older, I would say, I really want an emerald ring. And of course, my family would laugh at me. And as I got to be a teenager, I'd watch that movie once a year. I got to saying, I don't want a diamond engagement ring when I am proposed to. I want an emerald engagement ring. And of course, my family laughed at me. And then I got through high school and college, and I still have that picture in my mind that I wanted an emerald engagement ring and a honeymoon trip to the Caribbean. I had upped the game. And guess what? I got it. When my husband Tom proposed to me, he knew I wanted an emerald engagement ring, and I got it. And I got the honeymoon trip to the Caribbean. And guess what? It wasn't until a couple of years ago when I was having a discussion with Peggy Lee Hansen about manifesting that all of a sudden it hit me. I did. I put that out there. I wrote that down in my journal when I was a little girl and forgot about it. And it came true. And now in a few weeks, Tom and I are going to be celebrating 44 years together. And life is good. So that power of positive thinking and that power of picturing what you really want can happen. So I put that out there for all of you. Just, okay, keep it in mind. All right. The third principle is taking action. It's the importance of taking action. You know, I could sit in a chair all day long and dream about the things that I really want. A beach house, $1 million in the bank, you know, to weigh 120 pounds, you know, and the thing is, I could be as specific as ever. If I never take action on any of the things that I think or the things that I picture in my head, the chances are good that I'm not going to get it. And so taking action is one of the best things that you can do. Taking action toward whatever picture you have in your head, whatever goal you set. And of course, it does not have to be massive action right at once. For the last couple of years, I have subscribed to an app on my phone, and every day it gives me a structure. Now I know this structure. It tells me drink a glass of water right away when you get up, eat a healthy breakfast, exercise. And it's always got a little like 2-minute coaching thing on it that tells me different things that align with what I'm thinking about, taking action. If I want to be a writer, I have to write. I can't just say, I want to be, I'll have to take some small action. Journal. Pay attention to my thoughts. And even though, as I said, I know those things, I still open that app every single morning. And that app reminds me that in order for things to happen, I have to be taking consistent small steps. If any of you have read James Clear, Atomic Habits, that's what he promotes, taking small steps. And my fabulous app has encouraged me not only to make my healthy and good habits easier to attain, but my bad habits easier to dismiss. So if I shouldn't be eating chocolate every day, then I shouldn't make it accessible. And it's like, duh, you know? And so it's all about consistent small actions that lead to something better. So with that, there is a fourth thing, and that is getting you to a spot of personal integrity and character. So the science of being great says that it's been proven that things like what we focus on expands. What we can visualize very clearly in our mind is more likely to happen than something vague. And then taking action toward whatever goal is going to get us there. Well, ultimately, being great means having that character and that personal integrity. And so that was why I asked one of the prompts is, what do you want your legacy to be? And I believe that with the word legacy, some people think, oh, it's got to be things, it's got to be money, it's got to be something tangible. And I used to feel that way. I used to worry that if I didn't have a life insurance policy, what was going to happen when I died? What legacy was I going to leave my children or my husband? And I have shifted my thinking. Right now, one of the greatest things that I am living is that I have made myself a role model for my daughters, our daughters, and a lot of my family and friends. And when I say that, it's because I knew that when I retired from teaching, I could have done what a lot of people did, and that is stop working, maybe taken up a hobby or two, stayed in the same spot, connected with the same people, and something didn't feel right about that. Something was calling to me. And my husband had always said, when we retire, I really would like to move to Florida and live on the beach. And I said, I'm fine with that. And so when I retired, Tom and I packed up and moved to Florida from Minnesota. And we lived on the beach for about 13 years. We now live in the town of Tallahassee, but we're close to the beach. And the thing is, when I moved to Tallahassee, when I moved to Florida, I couldn't just sit. I knew that there was more that I wanted to do. So I set out to find myself. And I did find myself. I found myself through groups like Essence of Being. I found myself through groups like Women's Prosperity Network. I found myself with the people that I connected with, a writers group in Tallahassee. And then I just have made a completely different life for myself than what my friends back in Minnesota are still picturing. They feel somewhat stuck. And when I visit with them, they say, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. And I say to them, it's possible. You just have to put your mind to it. And I'm glad that I did. Tom and I are very happy here. And I do think of our lives as being great. So when the Wallace Wattles book came up, to me, it was kind of a no-brainer. I really felt that, yep, this is for me. This is what I need. And I have been living it ever since. So with that personal integrity and character comes the idea that you want to have a good moral and ethical foundation. And I know that the people that I associate with are not only moral and ethical, they are people that I admire and respect. And so as I exemplify what they bring to the table, I know that I am being a good role model for our daughters, exemplifying that even past the age of 70, I still have a lot to give. And I enjoy giving it. And that's part of that being great. And knowing that the more I give, the more I get. So you harness that power of thought, visualization, and action to transform your self-concept and create those positive changes in your life, because that is what being great is all about. All right, next, I have some tools that I'd like to share with you, if that's okay. And I am going to attempt to type them in the chat as well. So forgive me if I'm not looking directly at you right now. But the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is daily affirmations. So if you are familiar with daily affirmations, you know that you want to phrase them as if you are already in that place. So instead of saying, I want to be healthy, you would say, I am healthy. Instead of saying, I want to be rich, you say, I am rich, or I am abundant. If it's not about money, you can be abundant in many things: friendship, health, lots of different areas of abundance. All right. So think of, and I'm going to give you a minute. I'd like you to try to write down at least 2 affirmations right now that will resonate with you, that tomorrow when you say them, they will sit well with you. And for someone who wanted, Rose wanted the name of the app. The app is called Fabulous. It's just fabulous. And there is a trial period. There is no affiliate link, or I'd give it to you, but there isn't one. Yeah. All right, as you're finishing up writing your affirmations, I do want to remind you that as you are doing your affirmations, it really works well if you can say them to yourself in the mirror. Look yourself in the eye and say them. And try to say them twice a day, in the morning and at night. And see if they help move you forward. Right. My second tool is visualization practice. Visualization practice. And with that, what I suggest is finding a quiet space every day, closing your eyes and vividly picturing the outcomes as if you are living it right now. And as I said, I do that every morning before I even get out of bed. And okay, this is going to sound weird, but the Black Eyed Peas have that song, Tonight's Gonna Be a Good Night. Okay, I change it and sometimes I sing it out loud, which always bothers Tom. Sometimes I sing it in my head, but I sing, today's gonna be a good day. And it works. So whatever works, works for me. And I know that it sets the tone. So especially when I have something important coming up, let's say that I have a meeting or I'm going to be driving somewhere and it's a long trip and I want to have the right mindset, the right thoughts going through my head. I just visualize that and I emphasize that I see it happening. I see it happening easily, and I see it happening well. Okay. All right. Step 3 is an action plan. So now that you have some of this information, I'd like you to write down 1 to 3 actionable steps that you're going to take right now, this week, next week, forever, that will help lead you to feeling like I feel. Feeling that you are great, that you matter, that you're worthy, that you're important, that you make a difference. And sometimes those things sound trite. They sound like things that every self-help person keeps telling us. I have to say this though, it works. It works. And so there are days when I'm not peppy or cheerful or happy or smiling. And I allow myself to feel that way for a while. But before too long, if I look at the Post-it note on my computer, if I'm sitting down to write in my journal, I know that I can't stay in that mood. And I know that when I read a joke, I have to share it with Tom because laughter is so good for us. And I think it's one of the reasons why we're still together is because we laugh at each other a lot. And Tom is really good about that. I know I shouldn't say that, but he is a character, and those of you who know him will agree. Those of you who don't know him, I sure hope you get to meet him because he's very, very special. So, what I do want to share with you before we get too close to the end is I connected with 2 people who I consider to be sisters that live here in Tallahassee. And a week ago in the WhatsApp, I decided that something I needed to do to keep me moving forward was to really start clarifying my intentions. And so what I did is I started writing down today, my intentions are, and I would number them 1, 2, and 3. And then I would point blank ask them, what is your intention for today? And I would name them. And then the next day I'd come back and I was able to either tell them, guess what? I made all 3 intentions yesterday, or guess what? I did intention 1 and 3, but I didn't do 2. And the second day that that happened, it's kind of like a whack on the side of the head, because I realized that my second intention that I had put down was something I was avoiding. And so it felt really good to get to the point where I said, today, I'm only putting down 1 intention, and that is to do the thing that I've ignored doing for the last 2 days. Now, these sisters keep me on my toes. And at the end of each WhatsApp notification, I remind myself, I'm accountable, I'm worthy, I matter, and I make a difference in the lives of others. And I can't tell you how good that feels when I know that I'm helping them and they're helping me. And so that I just wanted to share that example with you, because it's easy to reach out to someone and ask them to be a partner in holding you accountable to the things that you really desire. And then cite those affirmations. Make sure that you're saying them. So that is what I have for today as far as the science of being great. Now, I know that there are a few other things that I want to quickly mention. One is that there will be an email sent out and you'll be able to schedule a 30-minute call with me. The 30-minute call is just to either talk about something that I've shared tonight or to ask me a question. There is no obligation with that 30-minute call. It's just if you heard something and I haven't called you in a long time and you want to call me, set up a meeting. We'll take care of it. The other thing that I want to share is information about the Conscious Leadership Academy, which is part of Essence of Being. And some of the people who are on the call tonight are also members of the Conscious Leadership Academy. And I am one of their call leaders. So every once in a while, I will take my turn at leading a call. And I love it. It's an opportunity for me to show myself that I've got the skill to do that. And it helps feed into my vision of being a professional speaker. So that's a big part of why I do it. The other thing is that Conscious Leadership Academy is really a group of like-minded people that are there to support one another. And the way that it is set up, the ability to reflect every week and then look back at how you transformed your life since you began is very powerful. And right now we started the essence of communication. We did the essence of abundance for 3 months, and then we did the essence of relationship for 3 months. And now we are in the essence of communication. And you are able to join free of cost. So I'm going to put that link in the chat, because if you haven't jumped on, please do so. It's valuable. And it's kind of like one of those family meetings. I don't know if your family had them. Tom and I did when our girls were growing up. You know, it's like once a week, it's like family meeting time. Okay, what have we got going on this week? And what was good? What was bad? What do we need to work on? Who needs help? That kind of thing. And so it is completely complimentary. There is no cost to attend the meetings on Tuesday night. If you want the replay and if you want the bonuses, then there is a cost, but you can find that information at the end of the meeting by talking to the call leader. All right. The other thing I want to share is the Essence of Being website, because we've got some things coming up. Now, if you have never attended Essence of Being, I'm here to tell you that it changed my life. When I went to Essence of Being, a lot was going on with my biological family, my mom and my siblings. And it helped me get through a lot. And I went to Passionate, which is the second part of the process, and Mastery. And I'm going to tell you this. I feel like I can do anything. I feel as if I know how powerful I am. And I don't brag about that very often. I know it inside. And so when my mom needed me and my 7 siblings weren't stepping up, I was able to do it. And I was able to do it with integrity. And mom has since passed away. I have no regrets because of the time that I invested in spending with her. And I tell people that. And I tell Burge every time we're together that I don't think I would have been able to make it without the support of Essence of Being and without going through the things that we go through in the programs and then keeping with this group. So, yes, Peggy Lee said, I think the 3 of them together is called the Enlightened Journey. And it is. It is very enlightening, enlightened and enlightening. So if you ever are interested in finding out more, go to theessenceofbeing.com. If there is anything that you would like to save in the chat, go to the 3 dots, either at the top of the chat screen or at the bottom, and that will allow you to save the chat. So that will allow you to get those links if you didn't have a chance to write them down. And at this point, I feel as if we've covered everything we need to cover. Anybody have any questions that they want to ask or anything they want clarified?
Hey Sue, it's Rose.
Hi, Nellie. I'm so glad you're here.
It's Rose.
Oh, hi, Rose. I see Nellie has her hand up. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Hi, Rose.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't see the hand. I'm on my phone.
All right.
I was walking. I think one of the things that I added to the replacement words is I have to. And that would be replaced with either something like I get to or
Very good. Yes.
I want to. That's another thing. Because if I think, okay, I have to do this, I have to do it, that's been such an automatic go-to word for me through my entire life. I was modeled that word from my parents. And I, especially my mom, oh, we have to do this and we have to do that. And it became like a heavy thing, you know? And so, um, I, I think I would add that to the list of, replacement words. At least it works for me. I consciously think, oh, I don't have to write this. I don't have to pay my bills. I don't have to, but the repercussions aren't so good. So
Right.
I'm glad I have bills, because without that, I wouldn't have a house over my head, and I wouldn't have a car, and I wouldn't have things, that make life um, workable.
Right.
Not, So anyway, I just thought I'd add that. And yes, I think you are amazing. And so just to add to your yes, you are what I would consider a great example of greatness, because you are so kind and giving. And I know Peggy Sue agrees with me on that. And so anyway, I just thought I'd share that.
Thank you, Rose. I accept that. That makes me feel really good. And you are right about the whole idea of have to, even changing that to I have to pay this bill, changing it to I get to pay this bill, actually honors and shows gratitude for the ability to have that money to be able to do that.
Oh, I
And
never thought of it like a gratitude word, but that's
uh,
so true.
it is. So thank
That's
you for
true.
sharing that.
You're welcome.
Melody, what's up?
Thank you, Sue TK. I've had some internet issues, so I was in and out earlier in the call, but I would like to know how to book a call with you.
When the replay gets sent out, a Calendly link will be on that email. And so you can expect that probably by Friday. She typically gets them out like a day or two after the power hour. So a Calendly link will show up. And I look forward to meeting with you, Nellie. Thank you for jumping on.
Thank you so much.
Another word, as Rose was saying that, another word that I have eliminated from my vocabulary is the word try. I will try to
That's a
do
good
that.
one.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to get that done. Every time I have used the word try to get, okay, it gives me permission to say, well, I didn't do it, but I tried. And so I thank you, Rose, because you triggered that in my brain. So thank you for that. All right.
That made me think about when a great example that you all will never forget, because I haven't forgotten it. Somebody put a chair up on a stage when they were talking about try, and they said, okay, will you come on and sit in the chair? Well, I'll try. Well, why can't you? Well, I don't know. I just have to try. And so it's simple, but yet you don't try to sit in a chair unless you just can't walk. But, I thought that has always stuck with me. Mhm.
Awesome example. Thank you, Rose. All right. Anybody else want to jump in with anything? I do want to thank all of you for being on the call tonight. As I said at the beginning, this is it is truly a topic I enjoy talking about, and I live what I what I talk about. So I do hope that I continue. No, I don't want to say hope, do I, Marcusy? I know that I am going to continue to be a great example. Love you
That's
all.
great.
Thank you for being on the call.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sue.
Sue.
You're
great.
welcome.
Thanks, Sue.
Thank
Good
you.
job, honey. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Instead of try, how about I attempted to?
Yeah. Still does the same thing in
Still
your
not
head, honey.
quite. That's like
Yeah.
attempting to get in the chair.
No, Bob and I learned a long time ago, you either do or you don't.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
Good
Or
trying.
not do. There is no try.
Oh, that's Yoda. Yoda,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yes. Yoda. Yes. All right, everybody. Thank
All
you.
All right. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Good night.
Sue, I have to share a